It looks to me like we need another guest. What did I mention? 3 guests? We only have 2.
2 guests.
Bobby Tassel, also Courtney Cox. It'd be great to have another guest. What? Who is that?
Over here.
Where? Oh my God! Mike Myers. Hey, Mike.
Hi, how are you?
How are you?
Good to see you.
Nice to see you.
You need another guest?
Yeah, we
You
need a guest
tomorrow?
Yes.
I'll do it.
Oh, God bless you. God bless you. Thank you very much. We'll see you tomorrow. There you go. So tomorrow, Mike Myers will be with us. What kind of a kid were you in Canada? What was your first kind of kid professional show business gig?
I was the host of a disco show in Toronto called Boogie Junior.
Boogie Junior.
At a city TV.
Wow.
I was Funky Mike Myers.
Was there a Boogie Senior?
Yes, there was, and I was the junior of the senior.
How did you get the job?
I auditioned. And they called for these auditions, and I thought, oh, wow, it'd be really great to be on TV.
Yeah. Were you interested, obviously, in being a performer, or what?
I was. I did TV commercials as a kid. In fact, Gilda Radner played my mom once.
Really?
On a TV commercial up in Toronto. And I really wanted to do it, but I didn't like disco. I was really into that sort of like, hey, disco sucks. You know, that whole thing? But it was a chance to be on TV. And so I went and auditioned for this Czechoslovakian guy named Vlad. You know, you're bloody marvelous, you're bloody great. And I thought I did lousy, but I got the call, but I didn't have any disco clothes.
Yeah.
So they sent me and my mom, who actually is coming to New York tonight, is from Liverpool. And she's this little lady, and she said, well, Michael, we've got to go and get you a bougie hat. So, because the producer told us we've got to go get one. So we went to this place, a Jamaican store in Toronto, a Rastafarian store. My mom didn't, you know. And so we go in there sort of like, you know, boom, 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 boom. And just wafts of marijuana coming out.
Yeah.
And this guy with huge dreadlocks, right? And we're walking in, my mom's saying, yes, this seems to be the place. and my mom went, excuse me, I'd like to get a bougie hat. And this guy just went, hold on 1 second, man. And he goes to the back, and we can just hear gales of laughter.
Yeah. They're all doubled over.
And one by one, all the people who work in the back are just poking their head out to have a look at us. And then you hear,
How long did you have the show then?
Oh, I only did the pilot, and then I think they got like letters saying, you know, this guy sucks. But I
Could have been the hat.
Yeah.
All right, now, Michael, I think what we have here is maybe some shots of you in that same hat.
The boogie hat.
Here
yes.
we go.
That's
Tell us what
my
we're
comp.
looking at. This is a very nice assortment of photos. There he is, ladies and gentlemen. Young
Yes.
disco nerd Mike Myers and his bougie hat.
It's very, very, very Huggy Bear.
Yeah, very happening there.
Yeah, it's very circa Starsky and Hutch.
You know, but what year was that? Was that in the 70s?
1975.
Yeah, 70s. The 70s, for some reason, I was talking to somebody about it last week. Nobody looked good in the 70s, for some reason. And just so you don't feel like we're picking on you, here's what I looked like in the 70s. Look at this. I had a job in Indianapolis. Now, look at that. I don't know what I was thinking, but that... Oh, stop it. Oh, stop it. Just me having some pie. That's all that is. There you go.
I went on vacation, and I went swimming in the surf.
Yeah.
And I went.
Could be dangerous. Undertows, that kind of thing, riptides.
But it really wasn't.
No.
And Robin was reading a magazine.
Robin
watching.
being your
My
lovely wife,
Robin,
right? Sure.
sitting there, and I started to drift towards these very, very smooth and slimy rocks. And the most that would happen to you is that you would have to shower. And it's just, they're very, very slick and slimy. But beside her is this lady. She sees me going towards the rocks, and she screams, "Oh my God, he's gonna die! He's heading for the rocks!" And Robin, like, put down the magazine, started to cry. Where what? He's gonna get killed! Can't you see your husband's going to die? She's going, what? And this lady had fashioned a rope out of towels and corn husks or something, and plankton, and was like, here, get the guy. And Rob's going, honey, watch out for the rocks. I go, I know, don't worry. And the most you do is you just sort of like, let the current take you onto a not so slimy part.
Right.
And it's like, really, it's just like being pushed. You know, that's about it. So I went onto the rock, and this lady starts screaming. She goes, get the guy. And so this guy comes, the lifeguard, really nice guy, doing his job. But he looks like one of the guys from Baywatch, right? And he comes down. Hold on, I'll help you. And look at this. He's got a perfect V body. He's got muscles on muscles. He's like perfectly sculpted. And he's like this hue, this brown hue that doesn't exist in nature. And part of the job of saving somebody, right, is that you have to, when you grab them, you have to hold their hand all the way up to the shore.
Oh, yeah,
right?
because you're their responsibility. They can't let go of that.
There's something
Sure.
legal about that.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there, I got like a Molson muscle. I'm like, you know, I got a great Canadian tan. It's disturbing, low-flying craft. I said, I know what I look like. I look like those guys. You ever seen those World War II documentaries of the British 8th Army guys who are running, little British Tommies, running in the desert, and then having a shower, and you see them naked, and you're going to put on your uniform. You know, and that's what I look like. And I'm sitting there holding his hand, and it's like, by then, the paramedics came down. They went, hey, it's Wayne. Right? And I'm like humiliated, and I'm sitting there holding this guy's hand. It looks like the stark contrast would even baffle aliens if they came to the country. They'd go, that's the same species? How very odd. I'm sitting there with my gut, you know. There's Wayne. So the news travels all the way up to this sort of like plateaued region where people are sunning
Spreads
themselves.
across the island?
Yeah, Wayne. Wayne's gonna die. Wayne's hitting the rocks. So they all come up and they pop their heads up like how like Indians when they're about to ambush cowboys
Yeah,
and
right.
movie goes
See
to the
them
top
on
of
the
the ridge.
horizon.
Dun, 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 dun. They're all like hanging around looking at me. And it's just like, Wayne, you almost died. And I go up there and everybody's like, hey, stay away from the rocks for the whole trip. So we go and we like, you know, we go to a restaurant that night and it's table for two, monsieur. We'll take you over here, away from the rocks. It's like, oh!
Man, what
It
ignominy.
was so awful everywhere I went. My parents were English, and they were very much of that school. As every child should have a hobby.
Uh-huh.
Every child. And there was my dad, of course, was in the British Army, and his hobby or skill was that he was an expert in foot care and could cook for 100 people. That was his big thing. So it's like, at the drop of a hat, if there's 100 people, I could make them very happy indeed. And so I'm watching a TV show in Canada called The Pig and Whistle. I don't know if anybody from
Not
Canada...
familiar with the Pig and Whistle.
Remember? And
Used
it's
to
sort
be-
of like it's an English pub show, you
Oh,
know?
okay.
With these cheeky chappies, and it's like singing, you know, and they have these dancers that are like the dancers from Mary Poppins,
Yeah.
you know, with the kerchief and stuff. And then they do this sort of like dance like, you know, that and that.
Oh, man, you're killing
All that
us.
stuff.
Is it a wildly popular show?
It's huge. And they had a dance class, so I can tap dance. That's my other
You can
skill.
tap dance. All right.
I can buck and wing.
Well, I don't know if we want to see that, but
Well,
tap
you do
dancing
wanna-
will be all right.
I can tap dance.
You
Would
ready?
you like to see me tap
Of course.
dance? Okay.
Here we go.
Mr. Music, please.
You remember the first show that you're talking about here?
Yeah, I did a show called The King of Kensington starring Al Waxman, who played the sergeant on Cagney and Lacey.
Mm-hmm.
And in Canada, he was king from The King of Kensington.
Now, do we have that? Is that what we're looking at here? Yes. Okay, we have that. We have it right here.
Oh.
Your first appearance
Okay.
on Canadian TV as a young boy. What do you think? 8, 9, 10?
Oh, geez, I think I was like 11 or something.
Here we go. Mike Myers in Canada as a kid.
Ma's onto something big, Larry. She just cracked the great raffle caper.
Phony tickets. You should have heard the sales pitch. Only crooks talk like that.
Hey, are these fake?
Shove off, fat boy.
Wahoo!
See, anything to do with raffles, you know?
Shove off, fat boy.
Well, you know, It was there. It was a great line.
What was the green little outfit he had on? Is that like the equivalent of the Canadian Cub Scouts or something?
That's the Cub Scouts, yeah.
Yeah, man.
There you go.
Handsome looking uniform. You know, it's the same. It's the same thing. And now we have some clip from later in your career. Now, do you know what this is going to be?
I think
This
it's
is a TV movie of the week.
from John and Yoko, A Love Story.
1984, I believe.
1984.
84, right.
Yeah.
Okay, and you play the part of...
Of a delivery boy delivering, it was about John Lennon. I'm delivering John Lennon his get out of the country papers. What are they called? Deportation.
Deportation papers. All right, here we go. Mike Myers.
Who is it? Special delivery for John Lennon.
Sign this, please.
That's unbelievable.
Well, it's so hilarious.
That's sillier than the first one, isn't it?
It just gets worse, Dave. What they were trying to show is the influence that John Lennon was having on the popular culture. You see why even the delivery boy.
Oh, my goodness. You can still do it.
I still got it.
We have the latest installment in the Mike Myers video
Yeah.
file. Okay, roll this.
You know, Chris, with all the bodybuilding we've been doing, you should be able to throw it.
Hey, Chris, where'd you get the dog?
I never saw him before.
He's a real Frisbee hound.
You know what? Can I say that?
It's a real Frisbee hound. Your mom? How's your mom?
My mom is great.
She must be very proud of you.
She's she's always been very supportive.
Does she like it when you mention her on shows and stuff?
Sometimes not. I mean, my mom, I love my mom. She's really great. She's eccentric. She's a nut bar, my mom. She is covered in chocolate and rolled in nuts. There's no choice about it. She's very, I mean, she just blurt out anything that just comes to mind. Like, you know, a friend of mine came over and he just lost his job. He got laid off. He goes, you know, Mrs. Myers, I just lost my job. She goes, oh, that's terrible. Do you do Aquafit? It's like, what? She goes, I do Aquafit. Do you have a waddle? A what? It's evidently a waddle's this malleable flotation device that you use during aquasize. And then she starts into her aquasize, like right in the middle, she just does like, then I do this, and then and this guy's here devastated that he's lost his job. And then she sings the song too. She always wants
trying to get his mind off his troubles, perhaps.
or she's just, you know, making something for the mothership. But she is.
Do you ever work with your mom?
I did. I do. I did the Mother's Day special on Saturday Night Live, and you know, I'm envious of you because you get to talk to your mother every night.
Every night, yeah.
And
I don't know. It's a position of envy exactly.
Well, I mean, I really miss her. I don't get to see her as much as I'd like to, but I mean, can I talk to her now? Do you think my mom?
Your mom?
Can I talk to my mom? Are you there? Switch on the satellite.
Oh my God, his mom's got to. Hey!
Hi, Mom!
Hi, Mom, how are you?
Hello, Michael. Hi, David.
Hi, Bunny. Thank you for
Peekaboo, Dave.
Yeah, nice to see Ah, it's pretty good. Ouch, pretty good.
Now you know why I kill!
Where is she exactly?
She's in Toronto, Canada.
I
She's in
saw
front of the
that.
CN Tower,
Right.
which is the world's tallest freestanding structure. Am I correct, Mom?
Right, I was just going to say that, Michael. You stole my line.
Well, turnabout's fair game, Mommy.
We're here in the lobby because the weather's bad outside and the visibility is poor.
Bunny,
Yes?
may I ask you a question?
Yes?
Do you do Aquafit?
Oh, Mike, did you make fun of my Aquafit classes at the end?
Why, Mom?
Did Michael
What
tell
did you hear? What did you hear? Well, it's just a rehearsal. That's not going to go to air.
Did Michael tell you why he didn't make the hockey team?
No, why is that?
Because he skates like a girl.
Oh! Thank you very much, Bunny.
I did a thing on the SEEB, on CBC,
Right.
called Range Rider and the Calgary Kid, and I played the Calgary Kid.
Calgary Kid.
You have to understand, I'm from Canada. And we don't have a lore or a myth associated to the opening of our West. So some civil servant at the CBC, the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation, decided we should create one.
Some kind of story.
Some sort of story.
Whereby the West was pioneered.
Where it was won. And we didn't win our West. We just went out there. And, you know, you guys had the gunfight at the OK Corral. You know, we had the stern memo at the OK Corral. We had the agree to disagree at the OK Corral. Yeah. So we had to try and create some sort of...
So this is then the fabricated myth and lore of the Wild West of the Canadian Plains.
Yes, and as you'll see, it is extremely high budge.
All right, this is...
You're going to see this. No expense was spared in the making of this children's program.
So now this does count as one of the 7 or does not count?
No, I think it's a TV special.
All right, we'll take a look. We'll be the judge of that. Range Rider and the Calgary Kid. Here, take a look at this.
Range Rider and the Calgary Kid in the adventure of the dinosaur Badlands.
They're gaining fast. We'll never make it to the canyon. We're only 10 feet. Come on, Chief. Come on. Go.
You know, that's the single best clip we've ever shown on this. Without question, that's it. That's the definitive old clip. I think we have another installment of videotape or film from your early career. I don't know what this is. You probably don't know what this is. Let's take a look at it, and then we'll talk about it. And if need be, we'll look at it again.
I'm afeard, David.
All right, here we go. Roll it. Let's see what this is now.
Range Rider and the Calgary Kid in the adventure of the dinosaur Badlands.
Range, look.
Must be more of Mr. Morgan's fun and games. I hope those dinosaurs are as real as you or me, kid. They sure are plenty ornery. Range!
Yeah. Now, who are you? Which one? What is your character?
I was the Calgary Kid.
You were the Calgary Kid. Now,
that was Canada's highest budget TV show ever, by the way.
And I'm just going to guess here, this is probably like a Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon show, or was it prime time?
Prime time.
No,
it was up against Ironsides. No, it was children's television.
And
I'm doing a movie version of that, by the way.
How many seasons was that on?
Oh, I did. I was one pilot.
And that was it?
Well, yeah. You think that thing's going to take off?
It's like,
look out over there. There's a plastic toy. It's like that's
pretty
the most
good,
low-budge thing ever.
Now, who's the other guy? What became of him?
Yeah, he's a good friend. We keep in touch.
You just recently had your star placed on the Walk of Fame.
Yes, I did. Yes. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Did you get a good location?
Yes. My location is right in front of a sex shop that sells bongs. Wow. So, you know, yeah.
You must be very proud.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Thank you. And, of course, my mom comes down to see it, right?
How is your mom doing? Is she all right?
My mom's awesome. Yeah. You know, my mom's name is Bunny. She's getting on. We call her the Energizer Bunny.
And she gets things, she gets everything, but kind of in a different version. She gets a different version of everything, right?
My mom's eccentric.
Yeah.
She has no internal monologue. You know, when we were driving there, we're stuck in a car jam, and it was like hot. It was 1,000,000 degrees, and my mom said, "You know, I'm a soup nut." I said,
what does that mean?
What do you mean? She goes, I love soup.
Love soup, sure.
Don't give me a steak, I'll take a soup every time. I'm like, what the hell? I'm going to get a star in the Walk of Fame. Makes no sense. It's crazy.
Had a girl, Mom.
She's just weird things like that. Like, we were at the restaurant afterwards, and she went, Michael, I seem to be short of lap. I go, what the hell is short of lap? I'm short of lap. She gets mad, like I'm the idiot.
Right.
Short of lap. And I looked down and her napkin had fallen. And I said, oh, your napkin fell. Yes, I don't have enough lap, and it fell. I said, what are you, like an English wind talker? It's like Like as if you're telling me these things so the Germans won't find out or something. It's like, we don't want to give unnecessary information to the enemy. When the first time I went to a Hollywood party, so I'm from Toronto, and I went to Elton John's charity, you know, his Oscar party, and it was like going to a wax museum. Like I couldn't believe all the famous people. They were actually famous people. Like there's Harrison Ford, there's Sean Connery, and it looked like I was at Madame Tussauds at Niagara Falls, you know? I couldn't kind of believe it. And then Elton John is like, you, hello, you. And I'm like, it's me. He wants to talk to me. So he said, somebody I want you to meet. And he grabbed my hand and he took me and I like bumped into Harrison Ford, spilled his drink because Elton said, oh, you're going to be very surprised. I'm like, I'm just getting over the fact you're Elton John. Yeah. Right? And then I see this guy and this guy looks exactly like my friend from homeroom in Canada, this friend of mine, Dave Furnish. And I said, oh my God, it looks exactly like Dave Furnish. And all of a sudden it's like, I want you to meet my boyfriend, David. And it was like, he was in my high school. Wow. He's like, I couldn't believe it. It was so weird. So he goes, and Dave has a really thick Canadian accent, unlike myself. He has a very thick Canadian accent. He's like, holy jumping Mike, I guess the whole time in high school you didn't know I was gay, eh? And I said I didn't. I said I had no idea. And he was like, holy jumping, you know, you're like a movie star and I'm Elton's wife, eh? Well, there we have it.
Oh, wow. And then, at what age did you move to Canada?
I was born there. They moved in '56, but there's nobody more English than an Englishman who no longer lives in England. And they were very English. In fact, in Canada, they hated my Canadian accent. So it'd be like, you know, what did you do today? And I'd say, well, I played a little hockey. Can I have some sauce? And my dad would go, sauce. I go, what? Sauce. I'd like some sauce. I go, you're the limey freak. This is my country, dude. I'm the Canadian. It's like, Mrs., can you believe their bloody accent? It's horrible. It just sounds like honking sounds. I would be like, I'm the son. I'm the son.
What brought them to Canada?
You know, England won the war and lost their teeth, basically. And there was just talented young people, and bauxite were their greatest exports at that point.
So they picked up and left.
They did, for a better life.
And what did when did they stop criticizing the Canadian accent? Did that ever go away?
It's never gone away. They were just constantly making fun of me to my face. In fact, in my relatives, I'm the only Canadians in my whole gene pool. And my relatives, when I go over there, they flinch every time I talk.
Really?
Yeah. And I'd be like, hey, I would love to see Liverpool play. And they're like, well, why don't you call up with that nasal twang of yours? And perhaps they'll respond to that cacophonous drawl. And just for sheer torture alone, they'll give you the tickets to make you stop talking, you know.
Well, that really seems unnecessary.
I am here today, Mr. David Letterman, and I know you do not like this, because I just want to say thank you so much.
You're quite welcome.
You are fantastic.
You're very generous.
Oh, my God.
You've been very kind to us over the years.
Oh, my God.
Thank you.
I've been on this show 29 times.
Wow.
For 25 years.
That's pretty good.
And I just want to say, because I know you're going to try and change the subject, and tough ski, crap ski, as we say in Canada. Too bad.
Yeah.
I just want to say that being on this show is like one of the highlights of my career. No, yes, there's 3 times that I've heard my name back to me. One time was when Lorne Michaels called and said, are you Mike Myers? I said, yes. Would you like to be on Saturday Night Live? I went,
wow. Well, that's a life-changing
That was a big
call.
one.
Yep.
The other one was when Don Pardo went, Mike Myers. And then in 1990, when I came on the show, and you said, our next guest is Mike Myers.
Wow. Well, thank you very much. You're very kind.
But I ain't done yet.
No,
I'm just getting warmed up.
No, you're not. You're
I
done.
am.
No.
The thing is that this show has been consistently cool and hip for all these years. And this is, honest to God, as somebody that toils in the field of comedy, I just want to say thank you. What an amazing beacon of light. What an amazing American icon you are. And just,
oh my God.
just seriously.
Paul?
I agree.
Oh, no.
No, you are.
Thank you.
In fact,
That's
you
very
are.
sweet
no,
of you.
I'm
Thank you,
not
Michael.
done yet.
Oh, my
No,
God.
I'm just getting warmed up.
Oh.
On top of that,
Yeah.
you're the most American human being I've ever seen in my life. In fact, as a Canadian and an English Canadian person sitting next to you, I feel ethnic. You are that American.
Thank you very much. Well,
And
you're very kind.
No,
And
dude,
you've been very kind to us over the years, and
Oh, my God.
I won't be able to repay your generosity.
In fact, it's a highlight so much.
Yeah.
Being on Saturday Night Live, I got the last letter that George Harrison ever wrote to any human being was sent to me.
Wow.
This, coming on the show, is still up there with all of that. I'm not even kidding you.
God.
This
But
show is
that,
fantastic.
the last letter from George Harrison. Oh, my God.